Jack it up. Jack it up.
Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be going through our first video, that is Introduction to Pharmacology. So we will be looking at the pharmacology at the basis, at the surface. So today we will say, what is pharmacology? Say pharmacology, it is a branch of science that deals with the study of drugs in the living organisms. Means what the drugs is going to do to the body, or what the body is going to do to the drugs. So that is what we call pharmacology. So we look at the word pharmacology. Pharmacology derived from the Greek word, means pharmakon. The word pharmakon means drugs, while logo means study. So the both word pharmakon and logo will give rise to the word pharmacology. So in that, we say pharmacology has two distinct branches. The two distinct branches are pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. So we'll be looking at the kinetic aspect and we'll be looking at the dynamics aspect. So in the pharmacokinetics, we say, already told you that pharmacon means drugs. Then what is kinetics? Kinetics is movement. So in another word, what the drugs or what the body is going to do to the drugs. So now there are four different parameters of pharmacokinetics. Or in another word, we say, what the body does to the drugs is called pharmacokinetics. So in there, we say there are four parameters. Those four parameters are absorption, distributions, metabolism, and eliminations. So in our upcoming videos, we'll be looking at them in depth, like absorptions. What is absorptions? How the body will going to absorb the drugs, what organs is responsible for absorptions, and the distributions, how the drugs is going to be distributed throughout the body. Metabolism is just about the eliminations of the drugs, how well the drugs is going to metabolize, which organs is responsible for the metabolisms. Then we look at the elimination. The elimination is how the drugs is going to leave the body, by what means, by what organs the drug is going to leave the body. So for the pharmacokinetics, we will look at one example of pharmacokinetics. So we take the drugs like paracetamol. We say paracetamol, it is a drug that is administered to the patient orally. When the patient goes to the facility, the doctor or the nurses will give the drugs to the patient. And paracetamol, it is a drug. Once given to the patient is going to take that drugs orally. When the patient takes the drugs orally, which is the absorption aspect, by what means the drugs is going to get into the body. So then it goes to the body through the body in the oral cavity. When it reaches to the body through the oral cavity, then heart level or heart blood level is reached in 30 to 60 minutes. So heart level of these drugs is going to reach to the blood in 30 to 60 minutes. Now when the drug is taken orally, 25% of some going to bind with proteins. All of the drugs will not reach the bloodstream. Some will bind with proteins, some will not reach to the metabolism. Because only the drugs that is in the free form that will reach the metabolism, that's the liver aspect. Only those drugs that will go through metabolisms. So 25% will bind with proteins, and about 75% will reach the systemic circulations, which is the bloodstream. So in 30 to 60 minutes. So the metabolism aspect of the drugs is those drugs that will not bind to proteins. They are going to reach the liver and go through metabolisms. When they go through metabolisms, then they come through the urinary bladder and be excreted as a urine. So we now be looking at the dynamics. So under the dynamics, like previously we said, the kinetics is what the body is going to do to the drugs. So now we are saying what the drugs is going to do to the body. There are two parameters. So under the dynamics here, we look at the word dynamics. In the previous lecture, we already tell you that pharmacon means drugs. So then, what is dynamics? Because we say kinetics means movement. So what is dynamics now? The word dynamics means power. So in another word, what power does the drugs has on the body? So we say what the drugs does to the body is what we call pharmacodynamics. So in that we say it includes physiological effects or biochemical effects. So means there are two things, two effects the drugs is going to have on the body. One is physiological effect and the other one is biochemical effect. So in another word, people will say side effect or adverse effect. So for an example, if a patient goes to the facility and then he or she been given the drugs adrenaline. So adrenaline is a drug. When administered to the patients, it binds with the adrenaline receptor. It binds on the adrenaline receptor. So now, what happens? Here is a cell's molecule. It's going to bind on the surface of the cell, on the cell membrane. Then, when it binds on the cell membrane with the adrenaline receptor, what happens? It has adrenal cyclate increase. It increases the adrenal cyclates. When adrenal cyclate is increased after the adrenaline binds on the cell membrane here, when it binds on the cell membrane, it has increase in adrenal cyclates. When adrenal cyclates is increased, it leads to what we call cardiac stimulations. We look at the word cardiac. Cardiac means heart, meaning it stimulates the heart. So meaning it increase in cardiac stimulations. It will increase the heart pressure. So another one is hypoglycemia. It will also lead to a high level of sugar. The word glycemia means what? Sugar, and hypo means high. So you also get high level of sugar level in the body. So for this, high increase of adrenal cyclates is what we refer to our physiological effects. That's a physiological effect. That's the effect what happened the patient is expecting, and they would look at the cardiac stimulations and high increase of sugar level, which is called hypoglycemia, is the biochemical effects. So that's pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. Then we look at the word pharmacy. What is pharmacy? So we were given the standard definitions of pharmacy from WHO, that's World Health Organizations. So in that we say it is the art. It is the art and science of compiling and dispensing drugs. So pharmacy is the art of compiling and dispensing drugs. Or in another word we say preparing a suitable dosage form for the administrations of drugs to men and animals. It's also called pharmacy. So it includes collections. Now we look at the word collections. In the collections aspect is the sources of the drugs. Like people who doing pharmacokinetic, where you get drugs from plants, you get drugs from animals, you get drugs from mineral sources. So this one has to do with the collections of drugs. After collections of the drugs, you have to go for the identification test. Under the identification test of the drugs here, what happened? Other drugs are identified based on their origins of collections, where you collect the drugs, based on their species, based on their chemical reactions, based on their chemical structure. So that's the identification test of the drugs. Purifications. Under the purification aspect of the drugs here, for an example, if paracetamol is prepared, in the preparation of paracetamol, maybe you have the chemical bromo, for an example, if the unwanted, call it the byproducts, in extractions of the byproduct, taking the chemical or bromo from it, we call it purifications. You purify the identical drugs, you purify the identical substance. So from there, we go for acylations. So if you go in pharmacy, most of the pharmacy area, you have different temperature. In a different temperature, meaning there are some drugs that are on a certain temperature, and there are some that do not exist on a certain temperature based on their chemical nature, based on their chemical species. So they are not based on certain temperature. So that's the acylations part of the drugs. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. This is our first video on our topic, pharmacy solutions. If you want to continuously having our upcoming videos, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell to be notified for our next video. Thank you. I hope to see you in our next video, and thank you.
Jack it up.